Hello and welcome to the Metapod Podcast, the Pokemon podcast that revolves around the evolving meta. Sean, happy Pokemon Day! At the time of this episode's release, it will be Pokemon Day. We'll tell you right now that what's a crazy take? Pokemon is stopping the TCG. They're not printing any more Pokemon cards. That's what they announced on Pokemon Day. Sorry to spoil
that's
you.
What Pokemon Presents.
Yep.
Actually, Jake, real quick, what do you think will be in Pokemon Presents?
In all seriousness, I do actually think that we're going to get some card reveals and stuff, at least maybe like a set reveal, because we're not necessarily going to talk about this too much because it's just like a small teaser. In advertising Pokemon Day coming up, the Pokemon Company did release a daily countdown of images to advertise, Pokemon Day, and it showcases Terra Ogerpon EX wearing the grass type teal mask, Terra Greninja, a fighting type, and then Eevee illustration rare. So there could actually be some like TCG news because they've been teasing and showing these new things, but probably not super focused on the TCG. I think if anything, it probably talks about the new game that they have lined up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do we know what the new game is?
No, I don't think. Like, we don't know what the new game is. We know about the DLCs. The DLCs for Scarlet and Violet, I think both of them are already out.
They will be soon.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, this fall, a brand new generation, maybe, or or remakes. I think probably remakes is way more likely.
I think Let's Go Johto or something like that, like a second generation remake of Gold and Silver. Maybe. In the Let's Go series.
I hope that Let's Go does it, because like I hated Let's Go at first. I was like, this game is dumb, blah, 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 blah. But then, like, I actually played it, and it's actually one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Yeah, I mean, they're super enjoyable.
Yeah, they're very simple. It's fun to be back in the original, like, area and, like, doing kind of the original thing again, but with all the quality of life improvements that tend to come with the new generations of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I think it would be dope to do another Let's Go, and I don't know all the details of how the current Pokedex and system works, but it would be neat. I just think it would be neat. So that's going to be my prediction. Another Let's Go entry. I
wouldn't mind that. If I have to pick something different, I feel like Black and White is the next line of games to get like a update in terms of like a remake and stuff. We just had Diamond and Pearl, right? We have Gen 3's got a couple. I could actually see Gen 3 getting remakes also, but I don't know, like Black and White, I guess I'd be interested to see how much Scarlet and Violet, because I don't know this off the top of my head, like the returning Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, what's the percentage of Pokemon per generation? Because I think whatever the remake is kind of feeds into the remake, or feeds into the mainline game, the newest generation. Because like with Legends Arceus, right, we got Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, both kind of Gen 4 games that coincide with each other. So it'd be, I don't know, that's my guess.
Hey, I mean, but we're both guessing there'll be some sort of a remaster, remake type thing. And I think that's, it's an interesting guess.
And
I
then
think it's a little soon for a new mainline game.
Yeah, it definitely, in my opinion, is too soon for a new mainline game. But I think kind of how they've been doing it is like mainline game, remake, mainline game, remake. And they've also, I guess, started mainline game, DLC for the mainline game, remake.
Yeah, two.
Yeah. So it's just different. It's just really, really interesting on that. But definitely probably some TCG stuff. Maybe for a minute, but at least something.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably announce where the exact date of Worlds. I think that'll definitely happen tomorrow.
Oh, I wonder, do you think that they would like announce 2025 and 2026? Do you think they would announce San Francisco?
I do not. I think San Francisco. I don't think they even have the artwork done for 2026 Worlds. To be honest,
That's
like all
true.
the branding, I'm like, I think that was just unfortunate for them. But I think we'll get the dates, so you can book your tickets to Hawaii if you're planning to go. But
Oh yeah,
anyway,
Hawaii dates. Yeah,
yeah.
have forgotten once again that we still don't know that, even though it's a couple months away at this point. It feels
Yeah.
like, but we've got a lot of good things to talk about today. Kind of like a slower week, but we've integrated some fun shenanigans in this podcast. We know that, Sean, I rag on Sean sometimes about, maybe not knowing Pokemon or, the newest things in Pokemon. But Sean's going to actually test my knowledge today with the Time. Is it Time magazine?
I don't even think it's a time. It's just the ultimate guide to Pokemon.
Oh, it's just a random
special collector's issue.
Yeah.
I picked this up in a grocery store.
Anyway, it's got
listening.
trivia in it, and Sean's gonna test me to end this conversation and debacle that seems to happen every other week. But anyways, Sean, what do you want to get into first?
I think we can go for the oldest piece of news, which is that TPCI has sent out an official warning to hobby stores about selling the league promos, the materials. I think in particular it's the prize packs, right? That they're most concerned about is, you'll see on eBay these like entire cases, boxes of prize packs that the only people that are supposed to get these are people who run league events. And those packs are provided for the purpose of giving them away to league participants. So it's like, if you're selling, especially things like Prize Pack 4, which just came out, like, that means your players aren't getting them. So you're not supposed to do that.
This came out because last month, the pictures that I was showing appeared on eBay of Prize Pack 4. I think, like you mentioned, before it was even released. So reminder that you've never been allowed to sell these Play Pokemon prize packs and cards, I think, too. I don't even think card shops can buy like individual cards of these prize packs.
It says if a store manages to obtain singles from prize packs, they can only sell those cards 3 years after their copyright year.
So when they rotate.
Starting in 2025. Yeah, basically. So it's a little... That one, I don't know how they're going to enforce the selling of the individualized promos, because I guess individuals can certainly do whatever they want with the cards, but a lot of people sell cards to stores, and then the stores will then be able to sell them to people at their locals that would prefer to have that card. And I don't know. I get why they're saying that, though. Is like a store could also just open all the packs themselves and sell the singles. But I think the reality with these prize packs is they're more valuable sealed than they are open 90% of the time. So if I was TPCI, I wouldn't be worried about stores cracking packs to sell them. So I don't know. I would personally like refrain mostly from the trying to monitor the sales of singles, because I just think you don't know where they got it from, and I don't know. Stores being able to buy them off of their players is also useful to players. So that's my opinion.
It's it's nice because like these cards are so cool, in my opinion. A lot of these like reprinted cards, we talk about the different trainer cards that have the hollow borders. Right, the Scarlet and Violet set cards that have those like silver sparkly borders, like definitely superior to the like regular commons and uncommons. So these are kind of chase cards to an extent, especially when you talk about, like people who love max raritying their decks. Right.
Yeah.
These are specific, promos. I know a ton of people in like the collecting space that, purely buy promos, and they have like a binder that's filled of just like exclusive promos type stuff. And what's interesting in this as well, pre-release staff promos can only be sold 3 years after their printed copyright year. Do we know if that's like new or not?
I don't know if it's actually new, but I mean, it's certainly being resurfaced.
Mm-hmm.
That you know, promos, they're giving it a time frame, so I'm sure judges and people who run programs, maybe there was always guidance, but they're just sort of like reminding people, hey, if there's anything that's stamped that you got from Pokemon for the purpose of play, like official league championship things, um, you can't sell the singles for 2 years, for 3 years. Other prizing, like playmats, actually only have a 2-year embargo.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, you can sell playmats from 2 years, but the packs themselves, the prize packs technically say never for sale. You can't sell them at all. So that will never. There's no window of time in which that is technically allowed. That said, Jake, I think that like that never for sale. I don't think it will actually apply as a never because think back to like if in 10 years somebody is selling like I've sealed like some store is like I have sealed prize packs from 10 years ago. Like nobody's gonna think anything other than that, other than like, this guy has like this person sells sealed product, like old
Mm-hmm.
vintage sealed product, and I'm like, I don't know. The Pop Series packs are probably not that dissimilar.
No, I mean, I guess really the only thing is like it's almost like super exclusive, right? We talk about cards and how like they, have value because of like scarcity, promos especially, like the winner cards and stuff like that. Like the championship trophy, right? We talked about one championship trophy from like early in the 2000s that sold for like a record number or something like that. PSA 10, I think we covered on this podcast. And like, so there's a certain exclusivity to these products. So like, I don't know, maybe they do have some value in the long run, but definitely like you were mentioning, like it's not like you're going to make billions of dollars. I mean, these are all minimum rarity cards
Yeah,
essentially. Like no alternate art Miriams or Ionos or anything like that with the stamp. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
reminder that with failure to follow the guidelines, there are consequences with that too if you're like a store owner or something. And I could see how it could be like really easy as well to like accidentally buy one of these, right? So like if I sell you, so think of it this way, I recently like took some Pokemon cards to the shop for
Mhm.
like store credit, right? Because I was like, I don't need these V's anymore, right? They're rotating. Like
Yeah,
I get rid
it's
of
in your
them.
bulk rare pile.
Yeah, think about like if I had a Giratina V that was that pop series, but I had like 50 other cards in there, I mean, none of them are damaged, but the only difference is this like small logo right there on the side.
Yeah.
So the way that you hold cards, right, and you shuffle through, or you're doing a deck check for like the for checking your prizes, how many times you actually see that? Like, is it actually that easy to miss
I mean,
sometimes? I don't know.
I I think I get your point, which is that like people might be selling these promos knowingly or not. 'Cause they're not necessarily all worth that much money.
Mm-mm.
They're just selling it because it's like, hey, somebody might want this card, and I'll sell it to my store so I can get store credit maybe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the store now has the inventory, and that's why I'm like, I think managing the sale of the singles is not really. It's not something that I would say that TPCI should be getting involved in. I think the sealed product, cool. You can say don't sell it, and people may or may not do that. But the singles, I don't know. If you're printing things in the correct quantities, it's not going to be worth it for a store to open up all of those packs and sell the singles relative to them, you know, giving the packs away. It'd be more work than it's worth for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know. It's my opinion. I'm sure there's lots of reasons why I'm incorrect on that, but I just think that 99% of these cards don't have enough value for you to worry about them selling it on the secondary market.
I wonder how the secondary market reacts if they are able to sell. I wonder how that influences certain. I'm sure it's like nothing major, but I get curious about silly stuff like that, silly little changes, Sean. But if you do want to go to your local card shop, you can get stuff for free. The Pokemon 2024 store giveaways for celebrating Pokemon Day have been announced that are happening at the time that this episode releases. So go over to your card shops. There is a Pokemon Day Cerulege promo that's being given out at Best Buy, GameStop, Pokemon Center, Target, and Walmart. You can use the code that they've got on Pokebeach.com, PDay2024. At PokemonCenter.com. Customers who spend $15 or more will receive the card. Availability varies by stores, so you can call in before that. And then in Europe and other countries, there are a bunch of other things. We talked about some of these, I think.
Yeah, we talked about the dice.
Yeah.
I pulled this up, though. I wanted to mention specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I saw it, but I did see the statues.
The statues.
So there are 3 Pikachu statues that are part of the Pokemon Day promo material that stores can choose to give them out in a variety of fashions. But some stores may do tournaments for it. Some stores may do raffles. Yeah,
a confused Pikachu mood from the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, there are 3 different statues, and they're all very cute. Let me see.
Oh, there's Sleepy, and there's another one. Oh. Huh.
Oh, yeah, there they are. He's holding, Pikachu is holding a love letter in one. Pikachu has, the little, kind of looks like Spinda eyes or whatever, like he's knocked out. And then there's a Sleepy Pikachu who's holding a little Clefairy doll in another one. So, in my opinion, these are probably the coolest parts of the promos is, if you go to your store and they're doing Pokemon Day stuff, definitely ask, hey, how are you giving away the statues? And they should tell you, a raffle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But be on the lookout for these statues. They're very cute.
There's also some really neat stuff in there. But I kind of want to talk about the statues real quick because they've been doing these kinds of statues for a while on the Pokemon Center. And I actually have one. I have a couple of them, actually. Well, this one might be a little different. Do I have the other one around here? Shoot, but it's kind of something like this. Sean, you can't see it. This is what I got from graduating with my master's degree. A little Pikachu with a master ball on his cap holding his degree, and it's got the year 2021. So it's not exactly like this because this is part of their graduation series, but it's in this similar style. I wish I had another one. I have a winter one from a couple years ago where he's building a snowman with Delibird, I believe. Frick, man, you should have told me about this before so that I could find it and show on the podcast. But again, lots of really cool things in celebration of Pokemon Day, so go check it out in your stores. And visit your local card shops. They also showed, I saw this, and I have not seen this before, there's a Pikachu die. We talked about the dice, but we didn't talk about this one. I don't remember seeing this one.
Yeah, there's a little, I don't know, I don't think the dice is transparent, but there is a little dice that has a Pikachu face on it and numbers. It actually looks not that, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't look that far off from a dice that they were doing in Japan. There was a dice set in Japan when I visited last year that also had a Pikachu faces on it.
Probably the same one.
Well, I think it looks a little different in my mind, but it's not that far off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would sell that little dice set. So yeah, there's a really cute die that has Pikachu's face on one side, Pikachu's tail on the other.
Oh yeah, there's Pikachu's tail.
Yeah, and it is see-through, so you should actually be able to play with this in games.
Nice. I definitely want to pick that up. So it sounds like I need to.
Go to you don't. Day event.
Do you have to? So yes, you have to buy Pokemon. You have to buy $15 or more, even at the card shops. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Look, I will say this. You receive our Pokemon TCG promo when you buy $15 or more. But all of the other
Oh,
stuff, it's up to the store as to how they want to give it away.
got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you,
So
Sean,
yeah.
for correcting me.
No. I mean, I was like, stores usually can do whatever they want with their stuff, So just yeah, if you have time tomorrow night, listeners, and Jake and whoever,
Not tomorrow
see or
night, right
no, I'm sorry,
now.
tonight,
Tonight,
tonight
yeah.
as of this podcast, go hit up your local game store and see if they got any stuff and what they're doing with it. So,
Yeah. So that'll be fun to see. I'm hoping to get one of the Pikachus, although I highly doubt it. If I had to take a guess, the local card shops around here will do it as like tournament prizing, for either like local tournament event or a cupper challenge. I think they could probably give it out as part of prizing. But yeah, fingers crossed though. Wish me luck.
Yeah. I think a couple other pieces of small news
Mhm.
that I know you wanted to cover, Jake. You can start with the fact, what are Pokemon centers in Japan doing that got you all confused, confuzzled?
Well, confused may be a little bit strong of a word, but definitely not on my bingo card that happened the other week. Pokemon centers in Japan are now selling English product of the Pokemon trading card game. So you see in these Pokemon centers, in this picture, you get booster boxes, right? You can get a booster box ETBs. These are specifically in this picture Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes in there, even some different boxes as well, like the Eevee, the Radiant Eevee collection from Pokemon Go that I think, didn't this come with a playmat as well, the Radiant Eevee, or even the like shiny Zamazenta or Zacian boxes, as well as a slew of, playmats and sleeves and things like that I believe you can buy on the English Pokemon Center. So, I mean, and here's the thing. So, English people have an interest in the Japanese market, right? Me included. I think Japan gets way cooler stuff. No cut and paste Ultra Pro playmats, right? Those horrid designs. So it makes sense that, especially when you talk about Japanese people, they might be interested in some of the English exclusive stuff. I know people who at like world championships and stuff will trade in the hotel lobby with people from Japan, right? They'll like bring an extra pack of the ETB sleeves that they don't want anymore, and they'll like trade it for another pack of sleeves that are exclusive to Japan. So it makes sense, but it was definitely not something that I expected to happen, because you talk about the local trading card shops here in America, right? I can think of one back in Kentucky, Card Trooper Games. Like when Pokemon 151 came out, they were selling 151 packs because like World Championships happened. So the store owner was at Worlds, and then he came back with some Pokemon 151 Japan product, and they were selling it at the store, stuff like that. But that's like a store that's not affiliated technically with Pokemon. Like it's not a direct line into Pokemon. So like seeing official Pokemon centers sell this it caught me off guard, I think is a better way to say it. Not necessarily confused or not necessarily like shocked, but definitely was like, oh, yo, that's interesting.
The one thing I will say, which I don't know, I'm sure some people have noticed, but you know how the Elite Trainer boxes over here, if you get the Pokemon Center version, they're always like they cost a lot more on the secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
All of the Elite Trainer boxes that are on display here in Japan are the Pokemon Center versions.
Uh-huh.
But they're being sold at MSRP. So
it's a Pokemon Center.
I mean, I know it is a Pokemon Center, but the Pokemon Center exclusives of the ETBs here, they sell out very quickly, if I recall.
Oh, yeah, especially since they started putting promo cards in there.
Right, but that's my point, is it's like, okay, for if you're looking for sealed product, a bunch of Pokemon Center exclusives just showed up in Japan, basically, from sets that are some of them are like all like what 2 years old,
Well,
Brilliant Stars.
I think one of the things about these is like the promo card that comes in the ETB for Paldea Evolved. That's a previous promo that Japan has already done, right? The Miraidon and Koraidon in Scarlet and Violet base set, like those promos that you get in there, Japan's already had, right? So really, unless you were late to the boat, like you're getting these for the packs and like the sleeves and the contents inside. So in my opinion, it's probably not as chased after, and they probably have limits on how many that you can buy at once.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, Jake, is they have the Pokemon Center exclusive version of the box, which is like it's a variant of
Yeah.
ETBs and those usually go for I think 2 to 3 times as much as the ETBs, the sealed ones.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Because
just
you can
like
only
20
get
bucks
them if
more
you
or something like that. 20, 30 bucks more.
MSRP, but I've seen some like Pokemon Center exclusives on TCG Player and stuff like that when the sets when
Oh.
they're sold out
Mm-hmm.
and on the secondary market, instead of being like 40 or 50 bucks, they're like 100, 120.
Now I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And these are Pokemon Center exclusive boxes. So I'm just noting that. I'm just like, it makes sense because it's a Pokemon Center, but again, it's in Japan and it's 2 years after it went on sale
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere, right? So I'm like, weird.
It's like they printed so much of these sets that they're like, we can't
Yeah.
keep giving these to people in English. They're not buying Scarlet Violet base set anymore. It's about to rotate. Who can we give it to that doesn't have it already? Japan.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Jake, we have one more news story.
One more piece of
do
news.
you want to get into it?
So, in the Pokemon trading card game recently, we have seen plenty of things reprinted from old, right? We saw Ultra Ball, Nest Ball came back. Sean and I called Level Ball coming back, and I believe I also called Master Ball. So,
Yeah, we did.
so you could say that we have understood the pattern of the Pokemon trading card game. We know balls. But anyways,
Jake is the real life ball guy. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was slightly taken aback when they announced a new card coming in the Pokemon trading card game. They announced Love Ball. Now, I don't have a problem with Love Ball. I think Love Ball is a cool Pokeball. I like it. It's one of the special Pokeballs of the Pokemon franchise, the video game. I think it's neat. I think it's cool. I'm excited to get a card of it. But come to find out, reading the translation, search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as one of your opponent's Pokemon in play, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Sean, do you know what other Pokeball has this same exact text?
I don't know. The closest one I know, I think, is Friend Ball, but that only does it by type, right?
Oh, yeah, never mind. My rant's over. Yeah, never mind.
You thought Friend... I mean, look, I will say, it is a very similar effect.
It is very similar. Yeah. Okay,
And
I'm not
Friend
as
Ball-
angry now.
No, but Friend Ball is better because it's... But is Friend Ball a basic only, or is Friend Ball any of the same type?
Oh, I just closed it. Friend Ball is any of the same type, I believe. It's been a while since I played with this card. Yeah, it's any type.
So, yeah, in reality, Love Ball is worse than Friend Ball.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
actually.
like, it has to be the exact same name as the one. So, like, I mean, look, we have cards like Squawkabilly and Radiant Greninja and Bibarel that are, and Manaphy, like things that are like staples. I think that the one that is the most interesting to me is the Bibarel example because it is a Pokemon search card that gets you an evolution. You don't have to discard 2 cards. You can just play 1 card, get 1 card. That is, I think, the only upside to this, because other than that, like the examples that I was giving, that I don't know if Luminion rotates with the next set. I can't remember, but it puts it into your hand. So you think to yourself, oh, well, if it's a coming from hand effect, this is really good. Pokemon I just mentioned, like Radiant Greninja, Manaphy, and Squawkabilly, doesn't matter if it comes from your hand. So they must be planning on printing another staple card that has a when you play it from your hand effect. I don't know. It's the only thing I can consider.
It'll be interesting to see with the with Pokemon what they're doing in the future, because now, as PokeBeach points out, Moonball is the only one of the original Apricorn Pokeballs to not receive a card. And so with Crimson Haze focusing on Blood Moon Ursaluna, Moonball could make sense and have somewhat of an interesting effect that kind of is the yin to the yang of Love Ball, right? I don't know.
Interesting. That's cool. That's very cool.
It'll be curious to see how it goes. I was originally going to be angry because I thought they did the same exact thing. And I was like, why would you just not reprint Friend Ball? What's wrong with Friend Ball? But I digress. This is why I usually do the podcast with Sean. So then I don't get confused about these kinds of things.
I will say we saved Justin and some other commenters a lot of strife and headache for correcting us on what Friend Ball does and doesn't do.
That's true.
I'm sure many people appreciate that. Jake, are you ready for your quiz?
Sean, I think I am ready for the quiz.
Okay, and I will also preface, all the listeners at home, feel free to scream your answers into your headphones or at your car stereo system or whatever. At the person sitting next to you wondering why they have to listen to a Pokemon podcast on the long road trip. And it's because you're the driver. That's the reason why. Anyways,
exactly.
Feel free to play along. Jake, I am going to, for this one, this is all about famous people who love Pokemon.
Oh gosh, this isn't really about Pokemon. What?
It's just trivia. Some of it will be about Pokemon later.
This is bad. This cannot be held against me.
So I am going to start with a famous singer. There is a famous singer who apparently loves Pokemon, plays Pokemon, played Let's Go Eevee for 15 hours in January of 2019. They posted this. So
15 hours? That's it?
Well, I don't. Maybe it was in one day. I don't know, Jake.
It probably was.
And she has a tattoo of Eevee. Now, do you know who this is, or would you like a hint?
I would like a hint, because I got no idea. I don't know anything about people.
Okay. Is a pop hip hop singer, and her last name has something in common with Starbucks.
No, that doesn't. I mean, singer helps a little bit.
Okay.
Use she her pronouns.
He's
Starbucks.
Right. Starbucks is a big hint, Jake.
See, that's the part that I don't think really helps me at all.
What's the middle cup size at Starbucks?
I don't know. I drink Folgers coffee every day. Like, what do you mean?
Oh my God, I'm talking to an 87-year-old.
What do you mean?
What are the sizes at Starbucks? It goes tall,
small, medium, large, right?
No. It goes tall, and then venti is on the top. So what's in the middle?
What's
Grande.
in the medium? Oh, Grande? Ariana Grande?
There we go, Ariana Grande.
This was a trick question.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else is a good one here? I'll just do one more of these famous people. So this person was a former commentator for Pokemon tournaments. Apparently, I did not know this. He's been a fan since the beginning.
Jay Witz.
And he think no,
Oh.
no. I mean, that would be interesting, but no. This person is much more like a mainstream entertainment personality. I'm almost certain this person uses he, him pronouns. And he is well known for his large mustache and voice. He has a very distinct voice.
Is this so? Are we talking like a trading card game broadcaster, or are we talking
No,
about?
He said he was a commentator for Pokemon tournaments. That's all it says in this
So
article.
it's probably VGC.
Don't think too hard about the type of tournament. You will not get it that way.
No, I don't think I'm gonna get it at all because all I've watched is the TCG tournaments.
I'll just tell you this, brother. He loves Pokemon. Does that help?
No, not at all.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, the Hulkster.
He commentated official Pokemon tournaments?
Apparently.
You're joking, right?
Says.
You're joking.
No,
There's no
that is what this article says. There is the Hulkster right there, black
There's
and white.
no way.
Clear as crystal.
There's no way. Hulk
drink.
Hogan Pokemon tournament. Hulk Hogan once commentated a Pokemon tournament. Hulk Hogan was a commentator for the Pokemon National Championships in 2006.
Can we get the footage to that? Oh gosh, I hope that's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
Oh, so that is.
I'm going to link it in the description and show notes if you want to watch it, because I know officially what I'm doing after this podcast is done. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
That's awesome.
I thought you would enjoy that. I saw that. I'm like, man, the world needs to remember. We all need to know this information.
I didn't watch like WWE or anything like that, like wrestling or anything growing up. So like, I was probably never going to get that, but that's really cool trivia, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next weird category, Jake. This is celebrities who look like Pokemon.
Oh my God, Sean, quit bringing in real people.
No.
I'm trying to talk about Pokemon trivia, not people trivia. No, this is not.
Pokemon.
This is misleading. You have misled me.
Jake, I am going to tell you the celebrity. You do not need to guess the celebrity, but I want to see what Pokemon you think they look like.
Okay.
Okay. So that should already put your mind at ease. I'm asking for the Pokemon lookalike. You don't have to worry about the celebrity. But
so you're saying that this is a subjective question, and that I'm always right.
Well,
no matter what,
I mean,
right?
I think we will all enjoy hearing your answer, whether or not it is the same as the answer this article writer.
Okay, hit me with it.
The first one should be a layup, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I know who this is.
Vin Diesel. Yeah. Who's that Pokemon?
Who is that Pokemon? Bald, like Machoke, basically. Like Machop, Machamp. One of those.
No, he's not. He's not in the fighting family.
Not in the fight. Why not? Have you seen this guy? He's jacked.
I will give you this. Vin Diesel. Don't think about his body type for this one. Think about really his head.
His head? He's a cue ball, so he's like Voltorb or Electrode?
No, it's a ground type, Jake.
He's a ground Diglett, Dodrio?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Diglett.
Okay.
I see it now.
Yeah, Diglett. Okay, I see it. I do think that they chose a bad example, though, because, I think of the muscles.
That's true. I mean, look, they're giving me pictures here. I can't give you the pictures because then you'll see the Pokemon, but...
That's true.
In the picture, they just cropped his head.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you another one. I'll go ahead and give you Beyonce. I will say this, the Pokemon this refers to is one that I very rarely see in trading cards used. Like a newer generation-ish Pokemon that I don't see very often. But if you had to think of a Pokemon that had Beyonce energy. Who would you pick?
Espathra.
Espathra. Interesting.
You don't even know what that Pokemon is, do you?
I mean, I know that I have an Espathra EX card.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But no, it is not Espathra.
No, is it Meloetta?
Meloetta. No, it is
Meloetta
not Meloetta.
sings. No, these are awful.
No. Think of it as a look thing, right? It's a much furrier Pokemon. It's a furry Pokemon that's got them thighs, Jake. This Pokemon has got them thighs, them thick thighs.
What do you think I think of with Pokemon, Sean?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this one. It's Lopunny.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
You see it now.
Yeah. She's got kind of like more like poofy hair in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, could be mistaken as fur, I guess. I don't know.
All right, I will give you just one more in this category because I sense the struggle. Jake. This one should be a bit of a slam dunk.
Well, you thought about that with Hulk Hogan too, in your Hulk Hogan impression.
I will say this is also going to be in the camp of wrestlers. This is John Cena.
John Cena.
Mr. Bing Chilling himself. John Cena.
John Cena. Who does John Cena look like? This has to be the Machop family.
You nailed it on
it has to be.
It's Machoke.
Turn one. Machoke.
Yeah. He doesn't have 4 arms, so he can't be Machamp.
That's right. That's true.
Machoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Now, where's the real Pokemon trivia?
Okay. Well, I can't promise you that immediately, Jake. I have other.
There's more?
This is good. No. There is some real Pokemon card trivia here. Okay. Now here's the thing.
Guess that flavor text.
I know for a fact that some of these are actually incorrect.
Oh, really? Wait, give me one that's incorrect.
No. Oh, no. These are correct. Okay. So I think we all know, Jake, what is the most valuable Pokemon card ever?
Isn't it like base? Well, I mean, it's a winter card from Japan and like way back. Or Illustrator, Pokemon Illustrator card?
That's it. Pokemon Illustrator. You're absolutely right.
I thought it was a winter card, but it wasn't. Yeah.
And then it's first edition Charizard. I mean, that's all like the pretty straightforward stuff.
But that card's boring.
Yeah, those are the boring ones, Jake.
No. The Illustrator card is cool.
So the Illustrator card is very cool, but that's also one I think people kind of know. Like you hear about it. But
this whole segment is just me fighting Sean about various minute details.
There are two cards next on the list that are actually unreleased Pokemon cards.
What?
They are technically Pokemon cards, but actually this one, yeah, they're Pokemon cards that were not actually officially released for whatever reason.
Are you talking about released in English? Because I know some Pokemon cards from like the first couple sets in Japan that changed their art in the U.S.
No, those wouldn't be those don't count. These are literally they were never made available in a product for purchase. These 2 cards.
This is a good question. I don't think I know.
I'll give you a hint on one of them. One of them harkens back to the oldest days of Wizards of the Coast Pokemon.
Okay.
So it is a card that Wizards of the Coast printed, but this version of the card was never released for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons? Is it a Porygon card?
No. It's. Do you want me to give you one more hint?
Yeah, if you could.
It is a test print card.
It's a test print card?
Yes.
Is it like a full art kind of card?
No, it was a test print of Blastoise.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some old Wizards of the Coast cards that are printed with like it looks like Comic Sans font, and they were
Comic
printed
Sans.
Yeah. No, seriously, and they were printed with either Magic the Gathering backs or blank white backs, but they were printed in order to like show the Pokemon company in Japan that, hey, we really want the, like, hey, we can print the cards. Here's how our holofoil pattern will look in America. And some of them have been found to still be square cut as well and not rounded.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I don't know if I know this. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
That's the card, the Blastoise. The next one, Jake, was a card that was given away to people who attended the birthday of someone very important at the Pokemon Company.
The only like person that I can think of is like the head of the Pokemon Company. I forget his name. Mitsuhira.
Ishihara.
Say that again.
Ishihara. Yeah.
So it's got to be a card like related to his birthday, because I can't think of anybody else that they would make a special birthday card for in the company.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the Ishihara GX card. It is a
I've seen that
GX card. Yeah, I think we've maybe even talked about it before briefly in the past, but yeah, it's like a GX, and it was like, yeah, it's a wild card. But yeah, those are the two that I wanted to pull out for this little section of the quiz that are like cards that were never actually released, but like they're worth a lot of money cards.
That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense why they're worth a lot of money.
Okay, Jake, that's it for the weird knowledge. And now you and I are going to have the same quiz, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 questions, but they're easy. We can go through it fast. And again, listeners at home, keep track. What I will do, I will read the question. You and I will both answer it, and then I will tell us what the answer is. These are going to be very simple, I think. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Pokemon is short for A, Pokey the Monster, B, Pocket Monster, or C, Monster in the Poke.
C, final answer. I'm just kidding. It's B.
No. Yeah, obviously it's B. Okay, so we passed that. That's the
Monsters
minimum bar.
of the Poke. That's a good one.
I don't know who wrote this. Okay, Satoshi Tajiri was inspired to create Pokemon by A, his sister's Hello Kitty collection, B, monster nightmares, or C, bug collecting.
I think it was bug collecting, yeah.
Correct. C, bug collecting.
I was going to say, I've heard that. Yeah, somewhere.
This one, how many gym badges does a player need to reach the Elite Four? A, 34.
Ooh, 34.
B, 151. Or C, 8, which is the correct answer.
What do you mean 8? I was going to say 34. I like that number.
I just like 151. Like, I can see where that number came from. Where did 34 come from? Okay. This one is a Pokedex is A, deck of Pokemon cards. I see how you got there. B, an encyclopedia tool for trainers. Or C, medicine to cure Pokemon.
Ooh, B.
Correct, an encyclopedia tool for trainers. The next question, where do you buy supplies in a region? A, Pokemart.
You steal them.
Well, maybe. Off of the bodies of your defeated victims.
Yes.
B, a Poke Center. Or C, a Pokestop.
Oh, Pokestop's actually like a cool little answer that they threw in there, but Pokemart.
Yeah, it's obviously a Pokemart. But the funny thing is, all of these are like very real things that could potentially make sense.
Like, it would make sense if someone who has not been doing a Pokemon podcast for 4 years, like, stumbled across this one day and was like, let me take this quiz. I could see how Pokestop could be the one. Because, like, Pokemon Go, the game that blew up, you know, someone who's only played Pokemon Go is not probably going to know what a Pokemart is.
I'm reading this next question, and the answers are wild.
Give it to me.
What are the 3 types of starter Pokemon?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess the possible answers that they give.
Oh, you will not get there, but please.
So one of them obviously has to be grass, fire, water.
Correct. That's the
One of the
correct
wrong
answer.
ones is good, evil. What would the third one
No.
be? No? They don't have good,
Do you want it?
evil? That seems like
No,
kind of
that would
a...
make like light, dark. I don't know. You
Yeah.
think that would make more sense, right? No, no, no. What the first one starts off normal, goes flying, fighting, and I'm like, those are weird types, but they're types. The
Yeah.
third one in the first answer is eating.
Eating? Oh,
Eating.
I love eating Pokemon.
And then C is tree, lake, mountain.
Tree Lake Mountain?
Like what?
At least, you know, like...
association.
At least Tree Lake Mountain, like, fit. Eating doesn't fit with flying. I guess maybe... No, they probably thought of flying and fighting then. If they put eating, right, they probably...
Things you're doing.
Yeah, they probably just used those two. Like that.
But the funny thing is, two of them are correct. So I'm like, I mean,
They're
guess.
technically right.
The next one is great. What is the name of the object that stores Pokemon?
Traps. Pokeballs.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, you know, we all know Pokemon is stored in the balls.
Yeah.
So it's Pokeball. But one of the other ones that I love here is Poke Cage.
Poke Cage? That's basically
Yeah.
trap.
That's basically what Power World does. That's Power World. Right
That's
there.
true.
This one it's not. It's a, who is Brock? And I'm like, it's bull. It's stupid answers. Stupid answers. Obviously, he's just Ash's friend.
Mm-hmm. He's a gym
How many
leader, too.
Pokemon? He is. They don't give you that option.
And he
It's
also
just,
has like 19, 12, a lot of double-digit siblings.
he's got a lot of siblings. He has a deadbeat father. Got a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't. I mean, I know this one, but like Unova is an unborn Pokemon, a New York-like region, or Ash's girlfriend.
Ash's girlfriend? What? No, it's black and white. It's the region.
Yeah, I know, but I also like an
Why does it say
Pokemon.
an unborn Pokemon?
You mean an egg?
Yeah.
It's just it's such a wild statement.
That's
okay.
like, but isn't part of Unova like based off of like France? Because isn't there the Eiffel Tower?
It says, I guess Paris
Place?
is a New York-like region.
Is it? I've
mean,
never
it's a
been
city.
there.
It's a city, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas is kind of like New York, right? They're both cities.
Okay. What are all the professors in Pokemon named after? I actually don't want to give you the answers because this I think is interesting. What are the Pokemon professors named after? What category of things?
Well, I want to say trees, but like, and before well, what I was going to say is I needed to think of all the professors because I was like, what if that's a trick question? What if the answer is plants? You know, because technically trees are plants, so I didn't want to be wrong. But
you were correct though. Trees is the right answer.
Big tree
okay,
guy.
This is interesting. I don't actually know the answer. What is Pokemon creator Satoshi Tajiri's favorite Pokemon? Is it Pikachu,
isn't it?
Psyduck, or Poliwag? I don't actually know.
I'm pretty sure it's Psyduck.
I mean, I would hope Psyduck. Pikachu is too basic, so I'm going to also say Psyduck, and let's see what the answer is.
I'm pretty sure it's Psyduck.
Oh, no, it is
Is it
Poliwag.
Poliwhirl or Poliwag?
Poliwag.
Poliwag's
Yeah.
a good Pokemon. It's underrated in Gen 1.
So we both learned something there. That's interesting.
Dang it. Well, at least you didn't get it right.
No, I didn't get it right either.
Because I didn't.
Oh, okay. So this magazine, I think, might be wrong, but how many generations of Pokemon games are there? 10, 9, or 21?
It would be... It's probably... Wait a minute. Why? 10, 9, or 21?
Uh-huh.
10 hasn't even come out yet, so it would be 9.
Yeah, is Scarlet and Violet
That's Gen 9, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it is 9, yeah.
Phew,
Okay.
You scared me there, Sean.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh my god. Okay, this is a funny one. What was the early concept name before they were called Pokemon? So before they were
Pocket
called
Monsters.
Pokemon. Well, no, before they were called
Oh.
Pocket Monsters, there were three
Well, I
options.
think they're still called Pocket Monsters, like in Japan.
There was another option here of Capsule Monsters, Pocket Pests, and Crazy Critters.
Crazy critters. I gotta catch that new crazy critter over there.
I love that. It just sounds like we have crazy critters at home. We have Pokemon at home, and it's called Crazy Critters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody needs to make that knockoff game. Okay. Oh, yeah. In December of 1997, an anime episode called Electric Soldier Porygon was pulled from the airwaves and never aired again. And do you know why, Jake? Do you just know?
Well, yeah, because I've seen the episode. It's because in the episode, the Porygon, like, have a bunch of flashes, and there was a lot of, like, seizures and stuff happening for kids watching it and stuff.
Absolutely correct. Now, the other options here...
That's pretty dark compared to all the other questions.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark... The other options, though, are pretty crazy, too. One of them is a flash of nudity, which I'm like... We do have Misty's Tears as a Pokemon
which
card,
I still want to buy that card, by the way.
I own it. I actually
You
own
do?
it.
Did you get it in Japan?
No, I traded for it here in America.
Oh, cool.
Somebody at a locals was trading cards, and he had a few copies, so I traded for that. But the other one is an unintended racial slur. I'm like, what?
That's another reason why a Pokemon card got its art changed.
I thought it got its art changed because one of them had a swastika.
Isn't that kind of racist, though?
I guess it's
not
a racial slur, but
oh,
it's like,
no, yeah.
But it was like in Japan, the art, the design was meant to be representative of like Buddhist symbols.
Yeah, it's got a different meaning in Japan, because there's even a manga series that I read that in the official Japanese volumes it has the symbol, but in English in my English volumes it's been erased.
The last question is a very timely one, Jake. What day is Pokemon Day?
What day is it today that we're recording this?
February 27th.
No, that's when the episode releases, Sean. I asked what day it was when we're recording. Today's the 26th, so yeah, the 27th.
Yeah, it's February 27th. That was the last question, and I was like, I gotta ask that because
that's a good ender, you know.
Yeah,
perfect.
I think we know enough about Pokemon. Maybe not about celebrities, Jake, but we know enough about Pokemon.
I don't know anything about celebrities, and I'm definitely watching this Hulk Hogan commentary. How, like, this is back in 2006 too. What game was out in 2006? Is it Gen 3?
Maybe it wouldn't be Gold and Silver. It would be the one.
No, I think it'd be. I think it's Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. I think Emerald's probably out at this time.
So that would be. It's in the post. It's obviously the post WotC era, right? Would that be after WotC, but right after Pokemon took it over?
Well, no, because I think Gen 3 had the e-reader cards, right?
Oh, right.
Did
maybe
they?
It's the e-reader era then. I don't know, maybe.
I think it's probably around the e-reader era and right before the, like, I think 2006 is like pretty close to the Diamond and Pearl block. Oh, this video doesn't actually have commentary. He just like crowns the champion. I'll still link it there. Oh yeah, they've got Game Boy Advance SPs in this.
Okay.
Oh, they're playing? Oh, this is interesting. So, Sean, I want to tell you this before we go. So, have you played... This is one of the things that, like, if Pokemon Day announces, like, new versions of these games, I will become feral. You know, like, I will... Have you ever played Pokemon Coliseum or Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the GameCube?
I don't think I've played the second one. I might have briefly touched Coliseum way back in the day, but maybe not.
I love those games.
I'm a little older than you, so that would have been at my like late high school, early college days, and I was certainly not rocking Pokemon at that time in my life.
How old was I? Uh,
Much younger than me. I
12?
can tell you that. Yeah,
but anyways,
2006 I was like 19. So
2006 I was 10.
yeah, so
Anyways, so in Pokemon Coliseum, I think Pokemon Coliseum did this. XD Gale of Darkness definitely did this, where you could like hook up your Game Boy Advance SP to the GameCube, and like you could do like battles. It was like a side thing in the game. It wasn't part of the main story. It was like a extra like game mode that you could do. You could like plug in 2 Game Boy Advance SPs with your GameCube, and you could like battle another opponent. So like in this video, they've brought their Pokemon into Coliseum. I think it's Coliseum. Looking at the character, it's really hard to tell because it's in 240p. But I like, you brought them into the game, and that's how they did at least this battle, like on the main stage. Probably like at the regular tables or whatever, they probably just did like the connection cord to the 2, and like at table 35 or whatever, you just battled right in front of your opponent. But then in the main stage, they probably put you in this game. That is so cool to me. I'm having a moment right now.
For.
Yeah, I'm having a moment.
That's what we're hoping for tomorrow. Or today. Sorry, today.
Today, yeah. Hopefully by the time this
episode releases.
Actually, I think when this episode releases, it'll be before the Pokemon Day news comes out.
Yep.
Because I usually try to put this out around 7 a.m. Eastern time. I don't have a baseball game today, so I will remember to put the episode out on time. Apologies for last week. But anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how much we got right or wrong about our predictions, and everybody let us know. Did you enjoy this little trivia game?
Yeah.
Did you learn something?
Maybe next time Sean will get trivia actually like related to Pokemon and not just people.
This was real. This is real trivia. Hulk Hogan has more official Pokemon commentating experience than you or I, Jake.
That hurt my feelings real good. Sean, there might not be another podcast episode after this. I'm just kidding. Anyways, we'll be back next week as always here on the Metapod Podcast, the Pokemon podcast that revolves around the evolving meta. I'm Jake, that's Sean. Thanks for listening or watching, and we'll see you later.